Yeah, he had X-rays on his nose. He got hit in the face with, I think, an elbow, but X-rays were negative. So far, so good.
How scary was that to see him on the floor like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a frequent sight. I mean, he literally sticks his nose in there, on every play. That's why we love him. He's so tough and physical, takes charges. He's always battling for rebounds, so he frequently gets hit in there.
Would you term him day-to-day?
I'm sorry?
Would you term him day-to-day then, if X-rays are...
Yeah, I think that's about all we could do right now, yeah.
Yeah. What's just kind of you're starting Lindy at the 2. It seems like you are. I mean, how committed to that are you in the near future? I guess I would ask.
Yeah, I'm committed to that right now. He's a good fit next to that group. I like bringing Buddy off the bench. The bench group has been really good this year, so starting Lindy allows us to keep the bench intact and gives us another shooter defender in the starting lineup.
Steve, this game was not aesthetically pleasing, but what are the things you did like about the way the team played versus the other night?
I love the first half. The first half was very aesthetically pleasing. We let our guard down a little bit, especially late third quarter. It just the game got away from us a little bit, but the energy and the sharp play in the first half was really fun to watch. So we just got to keep building on that.
Free throw shooting early on was really good. It tailed off late. I think you made 11 of the first 12, something like that, 12 of the first 13. Is that just, again, happenstance, or is that something that was discussed?
Yeah, I mean, no, we just guys have to keep working on it. So it's not something that I'm going to harp on. The guys know they've got to get the work in on their own, and we'll be all right. We'll turn that around.
In terms of game planning defensively, was there any advantage to going up against the Hawks a couple nights after playing the Clippers? It seems like they kind of might play similar styles with one ball-dominant guard.
I don't know if that really factored in. I mean, we've played against Trae Young many times. He's an amazing passer and really difficult cover. So our guys were locked in and did a really good job. I mean, we held them to 33% shooting for the night. That's pretty tough to do. They missed some open ones, but I thought our defensive pressure was good, and we basically did a pretty good job on Trae.
And then tonight was the third straight game that Kuminga played under 20 minutes. What are the biggest factors that determine whether he plays 15, 16, 17 minutes versus upwards of like 25?
I just read the game, and every game is going to be different. So, we've got a very deep team. As we know, we're committed to playing 12 guys every night. So we just find groups that click, and we stay with them, and JK will be part of a lot of those.
Flip on that, the Hawks-Clippers similarities. Defensively, the Hawks are super lengthy, at least to start. Maybe a little bit like the Clippers, but maybe even more lengthy than that. Younger. I know you didn't have a practice in between, but were there things you emphasized that you got to do, like you didn't do against the Clippers, that you had to do tonight and that you did tonight?
Yeah, mainly make simple decisions. I mean, that's something we're hammering home this year. And I thought in the Clipper game, we made some very poor decisions, especially in the first half, and that put us behind the 8 ball. So I thought our decision-making was much better to start the game. We only had 5 turnovers at halftime. And obviously that waned a little bit in the second half. We made some poor decisions, but to get off to that start was very important.
Some of that, like, don't dribble into nowhere kind of thing?
Yeah, well, don't dribble into traffic mainly, and don't try passes that are too risky. If as long as we just get to our spots and execute, we should just be able to make simple passes, and that should lead to good shots.
Steve, we've asked several times about the starting lineup without DeAnthony, and you talked about Lindy. But beyond Lindy, how does DeAnthony's loss sort of affect things? You need, obviously, Podziemski and Hield and Moody and the wing players, I imagine, to play even more and even better, and particularly on defense. I'm just curious the ripple effect of losing him for the season.
Yeah, it's such a shame for him and for us. I mean, he's an elite defender, and I think having him in the starting lineup with Wiggs, with Draymond and Trace, and Steph, it felt like our defense was not just good but elite, and so it's really a shame, that he won't be able to come back this year, and so it hurts our defense, but we have a lot of depth, and we have guys who can play, and they're ready to go.
If I could follow up on that, Wiggins obviously had a big offensive game today, but how much has his defense kind of returned to his form, and how much will that be needed even more now without D'Anthony?
Wiggs is in a good place. We sensed it in training camp. He's gotten off to a great start. Both ends of the floor. He's really been good. Thank you.
What was clicking for you tonight offensively?
I just felt like I was in a good rhythm. I got a quick layup and a three-point shot. Both went in early, so I just felt good about myself.
How much does that matter to you? Just like getting a couple buckets early, and how much can that impact a game for you?
I feel like any hooper, you see the ball go in the hoop, and I'm already confident in myself, but it gives you more confidence and making shots.
How much different, just sort of overall, do you feel this season compared to last season? I mean, Steve was very forthright early in training camp that you seemed like you were in a good place. Mm-hmm. What's different, and what got you in this sort of groove early?
I had a great summer of work. I was able to get a lot of work in and have a lot of time to myself and motivated. Came in motivated this year, and just want to stay like that.
And specifically on, obviously the 27 points jumps out tonight, but on defense, that's sort of needed more than ever. And you guys have sort of reshaped the way you play, and much more pressure on the ball. And obviously you lose some of that with D'Anthony going down. How much do you take that on yourself? And it seems like that's been a big part of your game for a while, but particularly this year.
Yeah, just trying to be the aggressor defensively, and with Meltdown, he's, a hell of a defender, so the whole team just has to step up and, and take charge and, try to do what he was doing before he got hurt, pressure the ball, make it hard on them, and value defense.
Draymond mentioned part of the reason you can have nice offensive nights like this is when you get help as the primary defender. It's not just you're required to score 25 and also guard Trae Young for 30 minutes a night. I mean, how is that balance as a defender who also needs to score? Like, how much do you kind of like getting shifts off, basically?
I feel like every night is different. Every night is different. Some nights you need that matchup, or you need that guy to get you going defensively. You get going defensively, then your offense follows. It's kind of just give or take every night.
Andrew, along those lines, I mean, in recent games talking to Steve or Draymond, Steve's really applauding how organized the offense is running, still moving the ball the way you guys have, but doing so maybe with a little more thoughtfulness to cut down on the turnovers. And he credited a couple of the new coaching additions to bringing some ideas. What have been your sort of impressions of how that's gone and how they've impacted something? Maybe not major changes, but.
I mean, it's gone well. We have coaches here that are, holding us accountable, teaching us. We put in a lot of, we put in some new stuff to, help us stay organized, and easy flowing stuff to, get us going, get everyone involved, everyone in a good rhythm, and it's been working out.
What kinds of things?
Just like a motion offense, just keeping the ball going, keeping the ball moving with multiple options.
Kind of following up on Anthony's question, obviously Lindy shadowed Trae Young early today and seemed like he did a pretty good job.
Great job.
How much can Lindy help on defense? I mean, obviously he's basically replacing D'Anthony in the lineup. And what did you see from what makes him an effective defender, I guess.
Yeah, he played, really well, on both sides of the floor tonight. And Lindy, he's very athletic. He's quick. He has good defensive instincts. So he's filled that spot, and he's been playing his butt off, and defending, shooting lights out, and that's what we need.
Thanks,